Yo, yo, yo. Oh man, it's Wednesday. Wednesday. And
This is listen. We decided that we was gonna make an executive decision because I don't make no decisions without my code D in the building. And we was talking about it for a while, man. That we was gonna do a podcast. You know what I'm saying? And here we are, man. In the name of the podcast, this is the episode number 1 of the other stuff, right? We
yeah,
always talking about sports, you know what I mean? Down in Sports Talk Tuesday night, 8 to 9 p.m. StreamYard, YouTube, Facebook, and all that. But we over here, you know what I mean? We just gonna chop it up a little bit about other stuff that's going on around in our world, your world, and in everybody's world. So it's myself, left-handed. You can get at me at RM Desk on Twitter. You know the vibes. Down in Sports Talk on Facebook. You already know what it is. I got my Cody in the building. She's dressed up. She got a Halloween thing on early today. She got it down in Sports Talk logo. We got YADABEAR in the house. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's
what's
good?
up, everybody? Another day.
Um,
Another day.
yeah. We in the building. We're gonna talk about some things tonight. We definitely gonna, get into a discussion in regards to the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Word up. There's just a lot of things going on. A lot of things that's being said and bandied about, but at the end of the day, it's been nothing but a celebration, and everybody's doing what they do. Um, Browski, what's going on in your neck of the woods as far as the 50th anniversary of hip hop?
They had a couple of little shows popped up around like they had like a little concert. They had a concert at the Man. I know that I saw Questlove had like a little basement session with like Queen Latifah and Moni Love. I thought that was pretty dope. Um, that's really about it. The Made in America tour, the Made in America festival got
Oh, got canceled, right?
yeah, they canceled that out of so the
Why do
buzz.
you think that? Why do you think that is though? You know what I
I
mean?
don't know. They didn't really say why, but speculation, about this whole Lizzo thing because she's supposed to
Mhm.
headline it.
Right.
But I'm thinking, other artists always have situations going on, so they could have easily probably find somebody else to take her spot. But they didn't really say why. But they said they'll be back next year. I know a couple years ago they was talking about trying to move it from Philly to another city, but I guess they came up, with another deal, and they kept it here. So now that this year is canceled, people just spreading rumors, speculating it could be the Lizzo thing, it could be maybe they're trying to find a new venue, maybe they done with Philly. Who knows? But they always seem to have a really good turnout. Ever since Made in America has been popping off, even the year after COVID like was big, things people still came out. So it's just crazy. But the craziness that I've been hearing about this uh, um the hip hop 50 year anniversary concert, I heard a lot of people talk about Nas performance, and I never understood why, because Nas isn't a performer. He's just a rapper. He don't perform on stage. He just
I don't know. I don't know what these people be expecting, man. Like, first of all, shout out to Nas and Mass Appeal because that was his thing. That was his situation that he put on. So first of all, shout out to Nas and Mass Appeal. Like, I hear, opposite ends of the spectrum. Like, before this concert took place, like maybe let's talk about maybe back in, the end of May, Memorial Day, first when it first got announced, people was jumping out the window. It was like, this is gonna be crazy. You know what I mean? Um, then you started hearing, some other stuff from some, heads, on this end talking about, well, how come they didn't have the pioneers on the bill, and this or that, and things of that nature. And for me personally, I was like, well, damn. I mean, Cats is, everybody's like near Yankee Stadium. It's events going on every day. I think the hook and the allure of the event for other people, because I know a lot of people who came from out of town. Shout out Win Walker. Shout out my man Fonzo from Detroit. A lot of people came from out of town just for this show to see Run DMC, man. You know what I mean? And they had, a great time. And this concert for me was really, really dope. One of the best concerts in years. It shouldn't be no complaints about it. Again, at the end of the day, you can't be perfect, I guess. But I think that was close to perfection as you're going to get. Everybody had, I was timing the sets. So everybody's set ran from like 20 minutes. Some people had I think Cube's set might have been 35 minutes. You know what I mean? So they had to squeeze everybody in. So again, at the end of the day, I'm hearing people that were leaving before Running them came. And I thought the reason for you to come out anyway was to see Run DMC.
Yeah, to see the pioneers, right?
Absolutely. So in their last performance, you know what I mean? So again, I thought, that should have been held a little bit more special regard. But look at the situation where we are today. People talk about Nas and his performance, or what else did they want? You know what I mean? You hear how come Jay wasn't there? You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm like, well,
there, right?
Yeah, I mean, again, at the end of the day, I that's to me that's a hard one. Then again, at the end of the day, it's an easy one. I mean, the hard answer would be, Jay. He's done his work. You know what I mean. If you want to see Jay, he has a big exhibit going on at the Brooklyn Library at Grand Army Plaza, right? He's done what he did, and plus he's supporting his wife on tour right now. So I get it. So if Jay would have showed up, then they would have been like, well, where's Drake? You can't please these cats, man.
Yeah, they want everybody. They
you know what I'm saying?
They want everybody that was on their top 50 list. They want.
And we're not even gonna get into that. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that, Yada. I'm not even acknowledging that.
They want everybody there.
Because they had a list. Somebody had a list. I don't even want to acknowledge no names because the list was so crazy of the top 50 New York MCs, right?
Yeah.
And like, I don't even want to acknowledge the list because my list would be totally way different. You know what I mean? I think I would have to have a few cats from, it would have to be tri-state area. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to, leave nobody out. Again, because I know some MCs from Jersey and some MCs from Connecticut that's really, really super dope that would deserve to be on that list. Now, where everybody would rank, you know what I mean? That would be, depending on who's doing the list. But again, at the end of the day, that list that came out in that magazine or whatever the case may be was nonsense. But that's what they want to do. They want to get people talking about it and telling them how garbage it was and stuff like that. But we're not going to acknowledge that. My top 5 New York MCs. Wow, Brasky, thanks for asking. Wow, top 5 New York MCs. In no particular order. Grandmaster Caz. Grand Poobah. Pasta Noose, Chuck D, and 5, right, Browski? I'll stick to 5. Yeah. KRS-One. Now tomorrow it might be Africa from the Jungle Brothers, Crazy from DOS Effects, Sadat X. You know what I mean? Jean Grey and Yasin Bey. So it depends what mood I'm in. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kool Keith, Said G. All right, that's my birthday twin, Said G, Ultramagnetic. You know what I'm saying? But again, that top 50 New York list is very, very different Because depending on what borough you're from, you know what I mean, it's gonna be, you got Queens is heavy in the building, the Bronx is heavy, you know what I mean, Brooklyn is definitely heavy, and you can't forget about Staten Island, you know what I mean, you can't forget about Long Island, you know what I mean. So it's crazy. But what I will say to that though is that I asked these cats on Twitter. I said, well, if Twitter was, the lunchroom cafeteria at school, what table would you be sitting at?
Mm.
And a lot of them couldn't even answer it. And that tells me all I need to know about them. Like, if because I don't know how what it was, because you're a little bit younger than me. But when I was on the school, right, the special needs children or whatever, they would eat first.
Yeah.
Then you would go in there and you would see the regular smuggler cats in there doing what they do, whatever. Then you got the cool guy table in the back, where the people would go out for lunch and come back and bring their lunch from wherever they went. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody that's trying to sit near the cool guy table, because that's what they banging on the tables, they rhyming and they doing whatever they do. That's the table to be at, the cool guy table in the back. So these cats act like they really don't know what that is. Everybody can't be at the cool guy table. That's just what it is. You had the nerd table, right? You had the jock table, where all the basketball players, the football players, whatever. You know what I mean? You had the table where the shorties sit at, cheerleaders, whatever. So it was broken into groups and cliques. So, but everybody wanted to be in the back, because that's where all that's where the cool guys was at. You know what I'm saying? So again, at the end of the day, I asked them, and they're like unsure of themselves. They don't know, you know what I'm saying, like where they belong in this. They just know that they can, come on Twitter or X or whatever you call it, and make an opinion and say something that's going to rouse somebody's nerves. You know what I'm saying? And again, to me, I learned that a long time ago, that you can't interact with everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody don't even deserve your time or your attention like that. You know what I mean? But again, at the end of the day, we all have hip hop in common. And all we want to do as OG cats is to make sure that the cats that come behind us know what we know. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? And somewhere it got lost in the translation between that generation and this generation. It got the signals got scrambled. But it is what it is. And we end up right here on the other stuff, down the In Sports Talk podcast with myself, Left-Handed, aka RM Desk. Get at me on Twitter, and my co-D is in the building, playing on the incognito tip, aka YADABEAR in the house.
Now,
Go ahead.
When I look at these top 50 lists,
Uh-huh.
I always, one, think they always bullshit, number one.
Right.
And two, I look at it as generational,
Right.
Somebody in their, early 20s, they ain't gonna have like Ryan or KRS-One in like they top 5, because it wasn't around to hear them guys like that.
Right.
And yeah, you can go on Spotify and iTunes and listen to it if you choose to seek out that knowledge. But most of the time, they're not listening to that. So when I look at those lists, I gotta look at it in the eyes of generational. Like for me, my top 5 New York rappers, not in any order, will probably be Jay, Cameron, Jada Kiss,
Okay.
Rakim,
All right.
and I probably had to go Fabulous.
Okay. I mean, and you're absolutely right when it talks about generational. You're going to talk to what you know. You know what I mean? And again, that thing has to be understood too.
Yeah.
Everybody's not gonna like, or everybody's not gonna know, or everybody's not gonna gravitate towards what you like because you're a little bit older. You came a little bit before them. But I mean, again, hip hop, has come a long way. I think that we're at fault a little bit for not taking care of the ones that we're supposed to take care of, and allowing a lot of people inside the house of hip hop, which everybody now wants to call it a house. You know what I mean? Because they're talking about who's a guest in the house of hip hop and things of that nature. But we didn't really take care of the house because the shorties is out here running amok. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it is due to negligence and to making sure that the culture when it was a culture gets passed down. But we're not going to dwell on that. It's just the other stuff that we like talking about. We're going to get back to that conversation, but Browski's in the building. She wanted to talk about the writers' strike.
Ah.
And I mean that has a lot to do with I mean writing as well too, because as MCs and rappers you got to write and adapt, do scenarios and things of that nature. But I mean, coming up now, what's going on with this writer's strike, where talking from the TV watchers point of view, right? Like we missing our joints, you know what I mean? Where's the shows at? You know what I'm saying? Like we want to see what we want to see,
The
but
shows, and then the
yeah.
shows that's out, the quality isn't good, because the writing is bad.
Mm.
Like I can figure out the plot within the first 10, 15 minutes. It's a bad show. I
Mm.
don't need to watch it. So this strike is affecting a lot. 'Cause you got the writers, and then you have some of the actors, and it's
Right.
crazy. Um, it's crazy because when we think of actors and actresses and people who write TV shows, you thinking these guys are bringing in the big bucks. What do they got to strike for? They on TV all the time. They in movies. I ain't getting no check like that. Like, why they striking? And
Mm-hmm.
just hearing some of their stories is wild. People getting residual checks for 5 cents and stuff like
Right.
that.
Right.
I'm
Right.
like,
It
what
ain't funny, but
we just watched
it's
that
crazy. Right.
episode. Like, I just watched an episode with you in it the other day. It's crazy. Like, you made 5 cents off of that? Like, that's
Right.
nuts.
Right. And they
You
and they
know?
and they think they out here living the high life and doing it big when they getting 5 cents from residual checks. Crazy.
Yeah, so it's nuts, and it's nuts how we are going to be feeling the full effect of this, um especially coming into like the winter time when it's like big movie time. Couple Marvel movies, couple other movies supposed to be come out, and they may be all be effective about because of the writer strike. And like I tell people all the time, like take your time watching these shows, because who know if they're gonna come out with another season. So like you get sucked up in all these shows, like especially on Netflix, and then
Oh
next thing you
man.
know, it's like, well, it got canceled. Like
Right.
like dang, like I invested
Right.
like
Right.
a couple
Right. Right.
hours
It's,
because
it's
I
so
didn't
many
binge watch
shows.
this show,
Right.
and
Right.
you telling me that I don't get no resolution.
Right.
It's never coming back. Like it's crazy. So
Yeah,
I
man.
can remember the last time there was some type of writer strike. It was a while ago,
Listen,
right?
man. When you said like you get caught up in the shows. Like I don't want to even start running off at the shows. Like shout out to Flatbush Misdemeanors and City on a Hill. Like you be watching these shows, and again you get caught up in them and stuff like that because they be good. You know what I mean? The next thing you know, it's not coming back on. I was mad because they took Flatbush Misdemeanors off. I was like, oh man, you know what I mean? Let alone from the fact that they shot it in the hood or whatever the case may be, but it was good to me. You know what I mean? I liked it. You know what I mean? So again, yeah, man, it's a lot going on behind this, situation where I guess the networks or the powers that be feel like they have the writers and the actors, by the proverbial pen. You know what I mean? Where it's like it's on y'all. Y'all want to stall this out. They could do it, but those are the guys that are making all the money, so they can afford to do that. You know what I mean? And like I said, it gets real when you see someone make a video and say, well, this is the life you think I lead, but this is the life that I lead for real with that $5 residual check. It's an actor that I saw on Twitter that I follow, young dude, doing his thing. You know what I mean? He made a video. He had several checks. You know what I mean? I think one was like 7 cents. Another one was, 3 cents. Another one was a penny. And it was crazy.
That's nuts.
It's crazy. So I think that, let alone from the fact that you have all these, social media cats out here that, some of them are really, really talented. You know what I mean? And with the ideas that they come up with, because all of this stuff is scripted. I don't care. Nothing's really spontaneous. You could tell the spontaneous joints from the ones that they created. So I think right now is if that's your lane, you need to jump on that, man, and just kind of come up with some stuff, because the writers they need writers, man. But again, some of this stuff, these scenarios that they come up with, be too wow. I wish that that Carly Russell was a well, it kind of sort of was, but
Oh, is it too early to laugh at that?
Nah, not at all. Nope. It ain't too early. Nope. It ain't too early at all to laugh at it. Nope. It ain't too early at all.
Like it came straight from a movie,
You know what I'm saying? It ain't too early. It ain't too early to laugh at that at all, man. Because at the end of the day, man, again, that you got copycats, people out here copycatting that. So it ain't too early to laugh at it at all, man. You reap what you sow.
I mean, the things that have been going on in the world right now could be
right.
A TV show, movie. I mean, you had an action sequence down in Alabama, at the riverboat. That was
absolutely, absolutely. The Civil War we enacted in Alabama. It was crazy. Everybody see that the stock of folding chairs has gone up exponentially since that
everybody.
And again, man, that I think that more of that is needed. And again, at the end of the day, you don't usually see that, but it was good to see people, to do, especially my man, the youngster that jumped in the water. And so they was going to get over there by hook or crook. You heard?
We do swim, okay? We do swim.
Word. He got over there and got out the water and made it happen. Like, you know what I mean? So, again, a lot of crazy things going on in the world, man. And we just want to make sure that, you pay attention, keep your head on the swivel, word up, and make sure that you do what you need to do your due diligence out here. You know what I'm saying?
Sure you got that folding chair and reaching.
Yeah, make sure you got that folding chair on deck. Because you definitely you saw what happened. You know what I mean?
You think the stock of folding chairs went up?
Yeah, I could imagine. I could imagine the stock of folding chairs, lawn chairs, folding chairs, all types of shit. You know what I mean?
It got sold out at Home Depot and Lowe's.
Yeah, Home Depot, Walmart, all of that. Everybody, all the little Aces, the places, this helpful shop with wholesale folks and all of that. You know what I mean? You can't find a folding chair nowhere, B. You know what I mean? So again, that that's just an example of us, coming together outside of the fact that even we can make light of it, because all the memes and the jokes and the man, I see somebody had
the tattoos, the t-shirts, the earrings. They got it on the holster.
Right.
They doing jiu-jitsu classes with folding chairs.
So
they got the kids out there practicing with them.
Absolutely. So you can't say that we're not, putting that to use or whatever. But man, listen, It's just crazy out here that it took that, and then we make what we make out of it. But again, it's sad that it had to come to that. How they did that man who was doing his job, yo.
No, folding chairs 2-0 because there was another incident. I think was Detroit or
Oh yeah,
Chicago
yeah,
when
yeah.
the man was
Yo,
beating them.
he covered that dude. He covered that dude like Popeye and Bluto. He was just
Yes,
bang, bang.
I said folding chairs is up.
Yeah,
2-0.
man.
You better watch out.
Yeah,
We
watch
ain't
out,
pulling
yo.
out pistols anymore. We pulling out
Pulling
chairs.
out folding chairs and swinging. You know what I mean? Word up.
Yeah, this summer's been wild. Like we knew it was gonna be something happening this summer. We just didn't know what it was, and it was definitely that Alabama brawl. Folding chairs made a come up in August.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it had to take place. Something had to go down. The summers, usually something that we talk about. Um, and that's going to be talked about for a long time. I was getting kind of sick of it, because every time you turn around, somebody got a folding chair in their hand,
Oh
and
yeah.
when they got the folding chair earrings and the folding chair
Uh-huh.
cupcakes, you know what I mean? So I saw a video somebody did of the incident, and they put the Good Times music over it. It
Oh
was,
yeah.
oh man, oh man.
Oh,
So,
oh man, good times. Yo, can I tell you something?
it was crazy. So again, we say we have a lot of time on our hands. We usually do, but let something happen that we all could have a common accord on. We'll have all types of jokes, and we'll sit around a table and talk about that. But I got a question real quick. Whatever happened to I haven't heard anybody saying rest in peace or memorialize any of those people that got killed or lost their lives when the Popeye chicken sandwich thing was going on. Now, I mean, for as much drama as that caused, they was running cars into the Popeyes and all types of fights, and people was getting shot and allegedly murdered and stuff like that.
Well, that's
Why
regular shit
happens?
at Popeyes. It
Huh?
just I said that's regular shit at Popeyes. They just happen to have chicken sandwiches there.
That's regular shit at Popeyes.
Yeah, that's regular shit at Popeyes.
Yeah, I mean,
They
but
just
as
happen
I
to
mean,
have
but
chicken sandwiches.
as serious as that was, though, man, you don't hear nobody tell you, well, 2 years ago today, I lost my, whatever, through the chicken sandwich wars or whatever the case may be. That was crazy.
Cause niggas die every day, b.
Niggas die every day, b.
Yeah, and,
Word
and,
up,
and that's just regular
niggas
shit
die
at
every
Popeyes.
day,
Okay,
b.
no, that is regular Popeye shit. The
Regular Popeye
the
shit.
workers beating up the customers going back there beating up the workers, taking chicken. That's regular. That's regular shit.
That's regular shit.
Yep.
Word up, word up.
But yeah,
Yeah, man. Go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna say, how you feel about your man Mel dissing, like responding to a diss, then apologizing about the diss, then saying I'm not apologizing anymore and putting this back up. Like you think he just capping because he on that high from the concert. I was listening to our man Star the other night. Star's been going in on Melly Mel, like hard body karate. Like
Hmm.
it's hilarious, and I gotta kind of agree. It's kind of a messed up move, and I didn't realize that Melly Mel was going hard on like Jay-Z and all them, and
Yeah,
Jay-Z inducted him to the Rock and
Rock and
Roll
Roll
Hall
of
of
Fame.
Fame. But
Right.
then you turn around and you apologize to Eminem, to the white boy, after you've been talking trash about this guy, for years, and then
Yeah.
he finally give you the attention that he was seeking, and then you ain't like it, you respond back, then you got a conscience or something. It's like, oh, I shouldn't have did that, or somebody, made a phone call to you, and then you change, and then you apologize, and then you not apologizing. It's just confusing, and I think He a little hit. Is he senile? Like is he just a little too old? Like what's going on with him?
I think that, and I'm gonna say this because you know, I mean, I rock with Melly. I respect Melly. I respect all the cats that came before us, but sometimes um, they do too much. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody understands your position as um, a pioneer, an OG, an unquestionable. You know what I mean? Fixture in this hip hop, right? And sometimes, man, you know, the cats that are in the circle, they know how you move. They know, you know what I mean, what you think about them, you know. But they're gonna continue to do what they do, and that's getting money, and that's making music and continuing to be relevant, right? So while Melly, he does his thing, I mean, they got other stuff going on, and for me, it's like you look at it and from a perspective of I was there when it was really, when five Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five was really five dudes. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's got broken down and fractured and splintered so much. Now it's Grandmaster MELLE and Scorpio. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Cowboy. You know what I mean? He's gone. Creole is locked up. Free Kid Creole, yo, word up. Um, and Raheem, he's just really coming back into the fold. Respect to Raheem because he put the olive branch out to Mel and Scorp. So respect to Raheem for that. But again, I think Mel is working from a place of, where he feels like he still has the upper hand in this hip hop thing. And I don't want to get to it, but that situation right there made it kind of seem like Mel was putting on those high heels with the goldfish in them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that in this particular instance, it's not 1983 no more. We used to say that. We used to say that all the time, like at the Rocksteady events. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And other events we would see these cats at. We respect the Cool Herc, respect the Flash, respect the Bam, respect to all of them cats. But at the end of the day, man, they running around talking about like somebody owes them something. You know what I mean? Nobody owes you shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The culture grew from what you created, right?
Yep.
Herc to sit the parties, Flash play the music, Bam play the music, Bam, Herc, Flash, the breaks and taught people how to dig for breaks and made hip hop all inclusive because you hear calypso music, you hear rock and roll, you hear hard rock, everything was encompassed in the hip hop, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those DJs, Grandmaster Flash, Bambata, Herc, you know what I mean? Those guys are credited for that, right? Then you have Theodore with the scratch technique, you know what I mean? Then you have a whole, bunch of the list just grows and grows and grows. It keeps growing. You know what I'm saying? So again, everybody who was around in the formative days deserves, some kind of recognition. But again, at the end of the day, if it wasn't for those cats, these cats in today's era wouldn't be able to make the moves that they made, that they can make, that they're able to make. So I think that's why some of the disconnect is like, well, we helped y'all to get where it is. Y'all seem like y'all forgot about us. Hey man, if that's how you feel and that's the position you put yourself in, then so be it. Because I feel like a lot of cats from back in the day have that connect with this new era, and everybody's feeding off each other, off each other's energy. You know what I'm saying? And so then you got cats like, Herc and Flash and those guys, you know what I mean? That, some of them might feel a kind of way or whatever. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
again, as far as, Mel is concerned, man, everybody's coming at Mel's throat, man. I mean, about that he didn't write the message and, recipes Duke Booty wrote the message
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
thought that was wild. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, that
and he,
it is what it is. It may just be that. You know what I mean? Because I used to be mad at Mel because when I found out, like this was like early Nah, late 80s had to be late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
That the third verse on the message, the child was born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you're going through, right? That
Mm-hmm.
verse right there was on another record.
Oh man.
Roski said, "Oh man,
Oh wow.
that verse, that verse is on another record. The name of the record." And shout out to everybody that's checking us out. Salute. The name of the record is called Super Rapping. Right? That's the record that starts. It goes. It was a party night. Everybody was ready.
Okay.
At the end of that record, listen to the verse at the end of that record. It'll sound very familiar. I used to tell people that all the time.
I
You know
just
what I mean?
that in. I just snuck that
Yeah,
in.
and he'll tell you the story like, yo, we needed a verse right quick to go on the record, and he just threw that on there. So, so like real talk. And I know, some cats that, we talk about the ghostwriting thing and who's writing for who, and because writing is like I guess one of the topics for our show tonight. Listen, the rules of ghostwriting, it depends on who you talk to.
So what's the
If
rule?
I'm in the studio, right, and I say a line, and you say, well, instead of using this word, use that word, and I switch it up, and it works, you're not a ghostwriter, my G. I'm sorry,
No.
you're not a ghost. You didn't help. You didn't help me do nothing, right? But if I say to you, I'm writing this verse, I need some help with the idea. You know what I mean? And I pen a couple lines. And then you help me fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm.
Now to me, that's ghostwriting. If you're sitting there just giving them a word, and you're not getting your name on there, you're not getting no credit, none of that.
Instead of saying money, say cash.
You know what I mean? Say ducats, say loot, say dinero, say papes, say snaps, say grip. You know what I mean?
And I want to be credit on the on the album.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. It just depends on your perspective of it. Everybody wants credit for something that they really had no business dealing with or had nothing to do with in the first place. But I don't know, man. I think that going back to Mell's response and him putting it up and taking it down and putting it up and taking it down. It just to me shows that he don't really he's not standing on his square. You know what I mean? Because when I first heard the joint, I was like, it's only 1:12 long. You could finesse that all day.
Yeah.
You could finesse that as some kind of little skit, a little freestyle, whatever the case may be. You sold it as a whole joint. You sold it as a record. You sold I got this diss record coming out. No, that wasn't no diss record.
Well, maybe he that's all he had.
I'm saying.
Minute 22 in him.
If that's all you had, I got this little, piece of something. You should have left that alone. Just put it out there. I think, and like I told Star, shout out to the homie Star. I know you don't do shout outs, but we do shout outs over here. Listen. I think that, MELL should have rocked over the message beat. Or he should have rocked over, New York beat. Or he should have rocked over a break beat. I just think it would have came out a lot more effective than him using that. I don't want to say the beat is trash. I just wasn't feeling the beat.
Trash.
You know what I mean? What you say, Browski?
The beat is trash.
Oh, the beat is trash. So the emails over there. You know what I mean? The beat is. I mean, it wasn't all that. I gave it a 6 out of 10 on the strength that he even wanted to make an attempt. You know what I mean? And that wasn't the MELLE that I'm used to hearing. Like that was.
Is this his first beef?
Nah, he had little internal scraps or whatever.
But anything that he laid down, like they went back and forth with another artist? Is this his first like rap beef?
I don't know, man. I just think
Kind of
that
sounds like it.
he ain't been right since Willie D knocked him out. So I don't know.
That's why he got all
I
scared.
I don't know, Bowski. I don't know. Yo, this is the other stuff, man. Down the end sports talk podcast. You know what I mean? You got myself in the building, left-handed. You got YADABEAR in the house, man. Just doing what we do, talking about other stuff, man, that's going on. Yeah, man. MELLE just kind of to me, he played himself. He should have
He ain't
never.
got no nephews, no grandkids. That's
And
you said
to
that
me,
Johnson killer.
it's not about trying. It's to me, it's not about trying to sound like
No,
you
no,
trying
it's not about trying to sound up to date, but he could have
But
got
you got your bar game and
He
you
could have,
way off, yo.
maybe he needed a ghostwriter.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's some dudes that when you look at them, even from my era and stuff like that. When you look at their pen game ain't as sharp as it once was, or could be, or what you expected it to be. But then again, there's a lot of them whose pen game is super dope and it's still strong and they ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think MELLE just felt like his approach was gonna work. You know what I mean? To is this new generation of cats who's listening, who's their listening ear is different. They listening for something else in their bars. You know what I mean? So again, in a cipher out on the block, that might have worked. That might have actually worked in the cipher on the block. You know what I mean? You just spitting
Think this
some
is the
venom
end of
bars like
it?
that, huh?
You think this the end of it? You think Eminem gonna respond again?
I think Eminem has enough respect because, like you said, he inducted them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think he has enough respect for MELL to kind of that he don't have to dignify with a response. You know, because again, right now the way it looks like MELL is kind of like shadow boxing with himself. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He put it up, he talked, he said what he said, he took it down, he issued this, apology, if that's what you want to call it. You know what I mean? Now standing on your square again. Come on, yo. You know what I mean? What you went in the house and the homies was like, yo, you better go back outside and whoop his ass.
That's what it seemed like.
Remember when you have a fight or whatever, and you go
Uh-huh.
outside, you come in the crib and you be like whatever, and your moms or whatever be like, yo, you go outside and whoop that ass. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. MELLE just it was another way he could have went about it. I said he would have won the thing if he would have did it over a break beat and just came and to spit that same 1 minute 12, roaches out the book bag and this and that, spit all of that over a break beat and it would have sounded crazy. You
Yeah.
know, that's just my opinion, but I think that's what maybe hip hop needs to get back to. You know what I mean? Because in its essence, it's about competition. You know what I mean? Call somebody out and be like, yo, man, me and you need to, yeah, we can agree to disagree, but let's battle with these bars and see what it is.
Everybody's too buddy.
Yeah. Everybody's scared to, to say something because they want to be on, everybody's, podcasts and be backstage and taking pictures and all this. So instead of just saying, and then let them fall out.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean,
Because as soon as they fall out, is oh, I hate you, I'm gonna kill your mother, and all this craziness. Oh, I didn't mean it.
I feel like the last beef, like rap beef we had was like what Drake and Pusha T, and that didn't even go that long. It was like maybe 2 rounds and it was over. Like like main stage artists, Drake and Pusha T. Is Pusha T even considered a main stage artist?
I guess.
I don't know, but
I don't know. I don't know either. I mean, I don't think when I think top 10 MCs, and no disrespect to nobody, because and again we're in that era where you got to preface
it's always a list. It's
own
a list,
thoughts.
right?
Yeah, you got to preface your own thoughts by no disrespect to nobody or whatever the case may be, instead of saying what you say. Pusha T is not in my top 20, and you can eat it how you want to eat it. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm quite sure Pusha T don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So again, at the end of the day, it's the other people. You don't have Pusha T. Why? Nah, cause I don't. You got Pasta News. You got Pasta News in your top 5. No. So am I arguing with you because you don't have Pasta in your top 5? The Pasta is nicer than anybody on your list.
Nah, I mean, and then when you
You know what I'm
look,
saying?
yeah,
That's the shit I be on. Like I be on it like that. Like, you know what
but
I
like I
mean?
said, it's generational, you know.
Yeah, it is. I do have to agree with that. It's absolutely generational. You know what I mean? Because you really don't have, you know what I mean? I guess, when you talk about the cats that span generations, like how can, I'm seeing people talk crazy about Rakim. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like how
I think people that's like in my age bracket don't think Rakim is top 5, at least top 10 MC is crazy to me.
yeah, it is. It is. And they don't have no explanation why.
Now, you know what was crazy that people think is crazy when I say that I don't have Biggie in my top 5 or top 10 because I think
Don't
there's
feel bad. He ain't in my top 5 or
people.
top 10 either.
Yeah, and people like when you say that they're like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's like you blaspheming. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck about that. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. I had to come out my bag. I don't care about that. I would and being a Brooklyn dude, it's like I wasn't really rocking with Big. No disrespect, because I was
oh,
like,
and you from Brooklyn? Oh yeah, they was ready to fuck. They
and
was ready
and
to take
and
you
and
out.
I have another a taste in different type of MC, and that's it. I have taste for different type of MC. No disrespect to Big and rest in peace, Chico from Junior Mafia. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah, I got enough respect for them, but again, I balance that out. I say, nah, Biggie's not in my top 10, and I'll say that with my chest. Just like Pasta Noose is not in your top 10 or in your top 5. That's just me.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't care that, you mad at me. I don't give a damn about that. You can be mad at me all you want. You know what I mean? His catalog is short. You know what I mean? Dope as it was, dope as it continues to be, it just wasn't my thing. I think I like one record. I mean, really, really liked one record on Life After Death. And that was the joint when he used the Schoolie D beat. B.I.G. be making you scream. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I like.
Why? Can you use your old school beat? That's the only one.
That's the one I like. That's the one that stand out. That's the one I stand out to me. The other joints was on there was banging. I listened to them. You know what I mean? I listened to them. They all right. You know what I mean? But you
Yeah.
asked me to name a joint. That's it right there. The Bone Thugs and Harmony joint was fire. You know what I mean? Everything was fire on that. But for me, that's my favorite joint right there. And I think that was just a little clip. That wasn't even a record. It was just a little clip, like a little MELLE joint.
Yeah, it was.
You know what I mean? So again, at the end of the day, man, everybody has their different, their different tastes for what they like, and you can't blame them for that. You know what I mean? And MELL, I think that he doesn't. If he has to run around and tell you and he's the greatest of all time and this and that and the third, then I don't
He's
know.
the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I mean, again, the other people should say that. The people should say it for you. You know what I mean? Because, like, I mean, Rakim, everybody will say Rakim is super dope. He doesn't have to say it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I mean, in this circumstance with MELL, man, I don't know. I just think that Melly, if he was gonna go hard, he should have went hard in the paint, stood on the square, not take nothing down. You know what I mean? Leave it up there, and if anything, come back with something else.
I feel like he gave it all he got.
Now,
I think that was. I think what he gave was all he had in the tank. That minute 22 was everything.
that was it.
That was it.
Minute 22 was it.
That was it.
Oh
And
man,
then,
Browski,
and he
wow.
probably had people, and then people was probably listening to the Star report and hearing Star go in, and people probably was
Right.
like, "Yo, Mel, you gotta take that apology down. You making the pioneers look soft.
I mean,
That's a
man,
little soft. That's a
wow.
little soft move. You know,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to appeal to these cats, you're gonna have to, deal with them on their terms, man, because how he went about it was kind of different. You know what I mean? That 1 minute 12 or whatever should have been hard. Should have been. You should have left him like, yo. You know what I mean? Now you got people questioning his pen. Questioning even why are you here? You know what I mean? Why are you still here? Why are you not locked up in the room like on what's the name of that movie? What's the name of the movie? Brosky. Um, oh God, about the sisters. Um, God, what's the name of the movie? Yo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They used to have the dinner at Mama's house on a Sunday.
oh, soul food.
Soul food. There you go.
Oh, Uncle Pete.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Melly Mel
Oh, Melly
upstairs.
Mel, Uncle Pete. And Melly Mel should be staying in that room.
Yeah, he put Melly
Watching
Mel in that
TV.
room right there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Yeah, soul food. That's the name of it. Yeah, yo, like
that's
I
funny.
don't know, man, but it is what it is. But I just think that this 50th anniversary of hip hop is not over yet. Still another anniversary to come. That's the
You said they're
Zulu
going to do
Nation.
it every year?
I hope so, but I'm trying to see now how they're going to do the Zulu Nation anniversary in November. You know what I
And they're
mean?
going to be a little.
Because I mean, like the hip hop anniversary is the date that Herc had the party. You know what I mean? But a lot of people they acknowledge hip hop anniversary in November.
But isn't the
Yeah, so I want to see how
Zulu Nation
I
is
want to see how
a
the
little
Zulus. I
sketchy,
want to see
right?
how what happened.
I said Zulu Nation. What Africa Bambala? Like they
Yeah,
real sketchy. You know, they got a lot of controversy.
yeah. I mean, but that's Bam. I mean, that's not the nation. That's Bam. You know what I'm saying? But again, at the end of the day, man, it's a whole bunch of things going on, and then you see Zulu Nation, instantly think of Bam and stuff like that, and they try to distance themselves and keep some space between them in that situation. But I'm just interested to see what's going to go down in November. You know what I mean? Because it got to be a Zulu Nation anniversary. You know what I mean? It got to be. It wasn't no Rocksteady anniversary. You know what I mean? And to close it out the way they did at Yankee Stadium was so dope. Hip hop deserved that. Hip hop really deserved that night. And the best of hip hop came out. It was hip hop going on all over the city. 50 Cent had his thing at the Barclays Center. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah. He brought out
So
Young
yeah,
M.O.
it was hip hop all over the
Yeah,
place,
that was
man.
hot.
Yeah, it's hip hop all over the place. So, and my question, and again, I don't really have to dwell on it because a cat like myself, my spot is established in this hip hop thing. Like other places around the country, it's time for y'all. It's y'all turn now to do, make it do what it do. I'm hearing about events that's going on in Cali. Shout out to Tash from Alcoholics. You know what I mean? King T, all them cats. You know what I mean? Cats down in Florida. Do it your way, man. You know what I mean? Let's keep the ball rolling. And all that little, that inside beef and all that, man. Leave that alone, man. Because the next generation is watching. They've been watching. You know what I mean? We left them. To fend for themselves too long. You know what I mean? And they can't come back to this because they're actually showing us how to really go about it, how to really get it. All right. The other stuff down the end,
Yeah.
sports talk, podcasts. We in the building. You got left-handed right here at RM Desk on Twitter. You know the vibes. My co-D is in the house as always. YADABEAR over there.
Chilling.
Anything else you want to talk about or get into before we get up out of here?
No, I'm good.
All right. So when YADABEAR says she's good, everything is Gucci. Ain't that what they say is Gucci? All right. So yeah, man, that's it, man. I enjoyed my birthday. You know what I mean? Had a great
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah. You had your birthday. Yo, you had a busy weekend.
Yeah, yeah. It
Birthday,
was. Yeah,
concert.
yeah. It was crazy. So, again, another rotation around this piece. You know what I mean? So yeah, another year. You know what I mean? But I'm still, holding it down, making it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, man, this is Down to End Sports Talk. This is the crew right here. Yada Bears in the house. Left-handed is in the house. And look for us, man. Football season is coming up. We're gonna be doing a lot of things. Yada Bear is gonna have her game of the week. It's not the Eagles every week. Thank you very much.
No,
Yada
no,
Bear
no.
is
It
gonna,
can't
yada,
be.
yada,
It can't be. I'm fair. I'm fair. I'm fair.
and we're gonna do the game picks again on the Down
Yes,
to End
everyone,
Sports Talk
please join up with the game
Facebook
picks.
page.
It's fun.
Yeah, we're definitely doing the game picks. Absolutely doing the game picks. So rock out with us. This, football season is about to be off the hook. We're gonna go at it too with the college thing. With college basketball season is coming up, we're gonna be on that too.
Oh,
So
speaking of college,
go ahead.
is college football going to have enough conferences? Like these teams are just jumping ship. Like every other week, two teams is leaving a conference or going to another one or trying to go. It's just crazy. The realignment is nuts.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Who playing who
yeah,
conference now?
it's gonna be how it's gonna end up though, Broski. This is all it means to an end. You know what I mean? Because they gotta fix it to make it to make it balanced. Because right now it's all out of whack, yo.
Yeah,
It's
it's
all out of whack.
crazy.
They know it. We know it. So they're gonna have to just come to some kind of agreement where they're gonna have a Power 16 conference where you have the top 16 schools. Let them figure that out, and then everybody else goes for self. That's it. And they've been talking about this since the '90s because when you have when the Big East fell, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
everybody was going, they went for self. They all went to what is it, the American Conference and they, ACC and all that stuff. It was like the clamor for the Big East was so crazy. They had to bring the Big East back.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So now when you have the ACC conference or the Southeast conference or the WAC conference or the MEAC or the Big 12, you know what I mean? You knew who was in those, who were in those conferences. They were geographically, or made sense. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And again, you knew who you were going to play in your conference. You know what I mean? And playing those those out of conference games meant a lot. You know what I mean? And the only teams that really kind of like could tread that line was independents, like Miami, Notre Dame. You know what I mean? All those teams, Army, those independent teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But the thing now is to join a conference so you can make some money. All these conferences have their own networks.
yeah.
So
That's
it makes sense to if Cal and Stanford want to join the Big Ten, it makes it. And listen, what's up is down and what's down is up. We already know.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's been I remember when the Big Ten had 12 teams and the Big 12 had 10 teams.
Yeah, that was backwards.
That was the beginning of the end right there,
Yeah.
yo. That was the beginning of the end. Like these are college institutions. You represent the NCAA, the highest, I guess, from education or whatever. We all know how it goes down in college. I know what it's about. And shout out to Ed O'Bannon, who was doing this since the early '90s. As far as wanting players to have to get paid to
Yeah.
play college sports. So again, it's 2023, and now this is a regular thing. And what happened? Everything went to hell.
Yes, it did.
Nobody knows what conference you're in. The NIL game is heavy. You know what I mean? Everybody's going where the money's at. So at the end of the day, all the schools, they have the money. You know who they are. They're gonna form a Power 16, Power 5. Get the hell out of here with that. They're gonna form a Power 16, and then and there you have it. And do it like this, Bowski. How they do with the soccer overseas. The last 3 or 4 teams or whatever, they can be replaced.
Yeah.
By you got teams that's on the come up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be a race now to who could we offer the most money to in NIL deals, which is going to stagnate your progress going to the next level. Because why am I worrying about sitting in the green room on draft night when I'm getting $3 million in NIL deals?
Exactly.
They created a monster. Why am I sitting in the green room when I'm making $2 million? I got a Lamborghini in the driveway, and my head coach who's getting ready to draft me doesn't have a Lamborghini. Is he making $3 million? You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. So I don't know, man. I think that this was bound to happen. They got what they asked for, but trying to move around. And the example set was Browski, and I'm gonna let you go on this, Kimmy. The example set was when these coaches started moving, your Rick Pitino's, your Caliparis. They were going bouncing from job to job to job to job to job to job to job, and nobody said nothing.
True.
Nobody said word to first.
Nope.
They bouncing from job to job to job to job. And somebody's family member takes a kid out to have a bite to eat, and now you got the NCAA raising the eyebrow. Knock it off. So they created their own monster with this, man. The kids, they in there watching people buy their, wear their shirts with their name on it and their likeness on it, and they not seeing a thin dime of that. Knock it off. You know what I mean? And the institutions will sell it off to you as, oh, well, they're getting a free education, they're getting free room and board, and this and that and the third. But what happens to them when they get hurt out there on that football field, or when they, on that basketball court, or whatever sport that they choose to play? What happens?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Not their problem.
Right. So, and again, when this particular coach, comes to sit in your living room and tells your parents that he's going to be there for 4 years or whatever, he's going to help your child graduate, this and that and the third, and 6 months later, he got another job because he makes $3 million more. Your kid can't follow him.
Nope.
So, I mean, again, they just they leveled out the playing field. If the coaches and stuff can do it, then we can do it. And that's what it seemed like. You read the paper, it's like a transaction. Like so-and-so transferred from UC, he's in the transfer portal. So he went from UCLA to Colorado. He went from Colorado to Texas. He went from Texas to TCU. It's crazy. You don't know who's on what team. You don't know who plays in what conference. You don't know who's doing what. But all you know that them games is going to be on Saturday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Those games are going to be on Saturday. Hard body karate. Straight like that. So, I don't know. We just got to, figure it out. And I think, again, mark my word, it's going to come down to a situation where they're going to have to set up a Power 16 where, the most, influential schools have their own conference, and they just keep, making it do what it do. It's like an independence, without a conference. You know what I'm saying? Power 16, they don't give it no name. And you got to earn your way into it. You can get knocked out, and again, everybody else is going to be scrambling because ain't nobody going to Little Sisters of the Poor school no more. Ain't nobody doing that. They ain't giving out no NILs.
No, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? They going to all the schools that got the boosters. They got the bread. That's it. Word up. So on that note, the first episode of the Other Stuff, Down to End Sports Talk podcast, myself, RM Desk. Get at me on Twitter, and my ubiquitous Code D, aka YADABEAR, aka Browski, aka Can't Get Enough, aka Eagles, Eagles fly,
All day.
aka Philly Buster, aka Flyer #1 in the building. Check us out, man. Tuesday nights, 8 to 9 p.m. down in Sports Talk. That's the regular schmegular. But we just wanted to hit y'all on the head, man. Talk about some other stuff and a relaxed, state of mind and all that. You know what I mean? Some more relaxed than others. And we'll see y'all when we see y'all for the second episode of the other stuff. All right. This is Left-Handed, and
YADABEAR.
and we are out. And we'll talk to y'all when we talk to y'all. All right. Y'all be
Peace.
good. Peace.